All
All
right,
right.
well, let's hop into our first topic here, which is a couple of different announcements and stuff, or announcements, tweets, just kind of just news things to talk about here. Both posts from Chris Brown. We've talked about a few of his posts over the last few months. He's a director of global esports and events producer at the Pokemon Company International, and he we'll tweet out little like tidbits of information every once in a while that we like to get to talk about. And this was a pretty big one this
Yeah.
weekend. He tweeted on Friday night, said, had our first test, or I guess it was Saturday morning, maybe, had our first test of online match reporting through RK9 in sides on Friday. Another test this Sunday. Looking for feedback if you participate. So we talked about this
Is-
topic a few weeks ago about how in Japan and then also in like all the other Asian countries that have organized play, they all report mobily. And it seems like most other trading card games in North America also report their matches mobily. And what we mean by report is like, at the end of the game, in Pokemon, you get delivered a match slip by a judge, a piece of paper where you have to circle and sign your name to say who won the game. Whereas a lot of other games, and then in Asia, people are able to just do it all on their phone, do it mobily. So it sounds like it's something that's in the works and could be coming pretty soon to the circuit based on this.
Yeah. And before anyone finishes typing their comment, because I can hear you typing it right now, don't press enter. If you don't have service on your phone, if you don't have a phone, there'll be either a situation where you'll be able to. I believe what happened at because someone was actually in my chat earlier in my stream who played in the cup on Sunday and used the mobile report system. And they said that you could, if you didn't have service, didn't have a phone, you just go up to the Hive and then report it at the Hive. Um, so it doesn't sound like you were able to just like flag down a judge, and then the judge was able to report it. You just go up to the Hive, probably with your opponent in that situation, tell them who won, and that's it. It's that simple. It's not a problem. People keep inventing these fake problems for this thing that is definitely going to be an upgrade to the Pokemon TCG circuit as a whole. Stop inventing these fake problems. There's already solutions for them. Yeah, I'm excited for this to finally make its way into the game. Apparently, either player can report the result at the end of the game. There's no like grace period after it's reported. So once it's been reported, that's it. It's reported. Like on this piece of paper here, it does say like it suggests that the winner should probably be the one to report, which makes sense. That's what you do with match slips. The winner takes it up. But either player can select the result of the match, win for a player. I assume it's going to be like win for player A, win for player B, or tie. And then that immediately goes through the system. And honestly, the coolest part about this is you can drop from the tournament mobily. That's the part that I like the most personally, because in the past you had to like fill out a piece of paper, you had to go up to the high, fill out a piece of paper, and then sometimes the next round you weren't even dropped. So I assume doing it on your phone should drop you for sure going into the next round. So that's kind of the part that I am personally most excited about.
You
Um,
spend a lot of time dropping from tournaments.
well, I just don't want to go walk up to the high, bro. I'm trying to get out of there. If I'm dropping, I just don't want to be there anymore. Usually, I'm trying to get
You wanna
out,
be able
trying
to
to
be
take a
driving
breather.
down the road and be like, "Oh, I forgot to drop. Click a
Yeah.
button."
Although I wonder, like, getting used to it. The one thing I forget to do sometimes, and I try not to, is I forget to draw from online limitless tournaments, and then I'm just paired in there for the next 4 rounds. It's just like on IRL tournaments, you get dropped after the first no-show round. They'll make sure you're dropped after that, but that's another cool thing to see on there as well. So yeah, it seems like a pretty easy system for everyone to kind of utilize. And yeah, I'm excited for this to hopefully come to events. I actually kind of doubt they're going to do it for EUIC. I figure out they're going to test it at a regional first would be my guess, but maybe it's not that. Maybe it's not that deep. Maybe I'm kind of overthinking it, and maybe we will see this at UIC. I doubt we'll see it at Merida for sure, um, but seeing it at UIC would be pretty cool because that is the next event after Merida, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's a little bit of a break. Yeah, I talked to a judge friend who had talked to another judge friend that was kind of involved in the mobile reporting process, right? And they said that so they used it for the cup on Sunday, which I believe was like 6 rounds. So you could estimate for 6 rounds, there's like six to 700 matches that probably happened,
Yeah.
right? And in those 6 to 700 matches that happened for 6 rounds, there was one issue that I think got handled pretty quickly. I don't know what the details of the issue were, but it was like like out of all those games, just one single issue, and it wasn't something that was like crazy system breaking or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good sign, right? Very excited to see the potential of this moving forward. And yeah, looking at the tournament schedule, we got Merida in a couple weeks. Merida. Oh, dude, Pablo's gonna kill me, man, because he was getting on to me for not saying it the right way, and
I think it's
Merida,
someone pronounced it for me or like
Merida,
it's Merida, Merida.
Merida. Then there's a Champions League the same weekend as Puerto Rico, next weekend after that. And then the weekend after that is EUIC.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I could see them using this at UIC. If this test went well, and it sounds like 1 out of 700 potential matches where something could have gone wrong went wrong, and who knows how wrong it actually went. It could have just been someone clicking the wrong answer, which all you have to do at that point is go up to the Hive and
Yeah,
have them change the results. So yeah, and for anyone who thinks this opens up a whole new gateway for cheating, I've never heard any other games have a huge problem with this, and everyone else does this. Arcane9 I think does this for One Piece and
I think
Dragon Ball and
so.
stuff as well. They literally use Arcane9 for their tournaments, and they don't have no one has problems with this. There's no problems with this. It'll be fine. All the problems that you can think of that could happen with this right now could currently probably happen with paper slips, or there's maybe
Yeah.
even other worse problems that can happen with paper slips or equal problems.
I
So
think a lot
overall,
of
the
I think
benefits outweigh the whatever it's called,
yeah.
the bad things.
I think a lot of people just look at new things and just immediately assume the worst possible outcome. Or assume that people will try to take advantage of it. And sure, maybe someone out there will, but like the reality of just
Yeah.
life as well is that 99.9% of people are like going to be good, decent people about any of these types of interactions, right? And they're just like most of the people who are playing in a single Pokemon tournament do not care about winning or losing a single match that bad to like lie and cheat about it, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. I'm just tired of because the discussion around this has been going on for a little while now. I feel like I'm just tired of the fear mongering around the possibilities of all this. It's none of this. Everyone just keeps inventing these fake scenarios and these things that if people were gonna do these things that people say they're going to do, they will just do that as with paper slips existing as well. If they're trying to be that malicious, they're gonna be doing it no matter what. Online parents ain't changing anything. So yeah, it's just such a big upgrade that we just need in the space that it's just kind of annoying to see people kind of fear mongering, and because it doesn't feel like people are. It feels like people don't want it to happen. It doesn't feel like people are um, yeah, it doesn't feel like people are what is the word I'm looking for? Are oh, look, but what about these potential problems? How can we make these things not a thing? It feels like people are just being no, we can't do this because of these reasons, and it's just
yeah.
no, none of these are actually real reasons. But yeah, I'm excited for this to come to the game. It sounds like the test went well, and I don't see a reason for it to not be coming soon. So whether it be EUIC or I always kind of make the assumption that these kind of things will probably start in at a North American event, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, if not EUIC, hopefully Toronto. No, not Toronto. What do we got coming up?
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Yeah, I knew it was a
Yeah.
Canadian one.
Yeah.
It'll be a
And
smaller
then
one as well, so maybe that'll make it more reasonable for them to handle the potential
and there
problems.
is usually a bigger TPCI presence at the West Coast regionals compared to the rest of the regionals. Like, and when I say that, just like people
Yeah,
from the events team that don't go to necessarily everything do usually go to the West Coast tournaments because it's just like proximity wise a little closer, easier of a trip, right?
yeah.
And so
Vancouver would make sense then.
there's usually, yeah, I feel like there's a shot we could see it happen there, which would be cool.